Okay, I'm going to be presenting voice projection in the classroom. Okay, so my main objective is to teach you whether voice projection actually affects the classroom setting. Some say it does, some say it doesn't. Okay, kids, you will be and you will say this, and you will do this. Okay, kids, so that's kind of what I'm getting across, is if you whisper, does it affect the classroom? If you have a teacher voice, does it affect the classroom? And if you scream or yell, does it affect the classroom? So that's the three voices I'm going to be talking about: the teacher voice, the dysphonic voice, and the screaming, yelling voice. I would describe the teacher voice as definitely empowering, medium to loud tone. You can still use a loud tone without yelling or screaming, and it still gets across to the kids as you mean business. I'd also say it's pretty happy, upbeat, and you're always smiling. You might not always be smiling, but smiling. The dysphonic voice is kind of a low, quiet voice. So you're whispering like this, and you can't hear me. No excitement is really in the dysphonic voice, which kind of makes it like just a clear voice. And sometimes with dysphonic voices, there's hoarseness in the voice. And then the third one is a screaming, yelling voice. This is a very, very loud voice. It's high-pitched. Sometimes, most times, it can come off as mean, rude, or hurtful. And this is when the kids really know that you are meaning business. Although this one does mean business, this is when the kids are like scared to death of you. Okay, so the dysphonic voice, students lose engagement to comprehend the lesson or are typically thinking about other things. In my research, I found out that this is true, and that students do lose engagement and they think about other things because they can't hear you, or you're talking lower than the children around them. This type of voice negatively affects the classroom.
May I have your attention, please?
And then,
may I have your attention?
this can make the classroom discouraged because if you're always really low beat and you're not really interjected about it, then the kids are going to get depressed and they're going to think that they can't be happy about the classroom and they always have to be talking like this. This voice can affect the classroom by making the students less engaged, interested, and less class participation. And the definition of dysphonic is an impairment to voice quality. So that's the definition, but I'm describing this not necessarily as definitely dysphonic, but a lower voice. Okay, now the teacher voice. Happy teacher, happy kids. This empowers the students and it brings more engagement, participation, and interest in the classroom. Why does it improve the classroom setting? The students begin to see the real you, not the teacher you. And this was something I read in my research that I thought was very interesting. So if you're nice to the kids and you give them work but you're still engaged in them, they're going to see the real you and they're going to realize they can open up to you and do work for you and still be happy in the classroom, even if they don't like doing the work. The students feel welcome, loved, and have comfortable setting, and this allows the students to have a close connection with you, but know they still have to listen to you. The yelling, screaming voice. This can negatively affect the classroom. In my research, I found that this can possibly hurt the students with certain backgrounds. So in my research, I learned that students with rough backgrounds or a rough upbringing have a really hard time at home, and then if they come to school and they're still getting yelled at and screamed at and discouraged, they feel like they're still at home. And the classroom setting is supposed to be a fun setting. It makes them feel safe. And I feel like that is why this voice is so looked upon of, because, I mean, if they have a rough upbringing and they have this rough of a home life, they don't want to come to school and have it again. I also found that this environment is not what the children need to want to work for you and enjoy school. So like I just mentioned in my research, if you're always screaming at them, it's going to make them mad, and it's not going to help the situation at all. I actually learned screaming at them makes them not want to do the work for you because they're mad at you. Kind of like at home, when you're mad at your mom, you don't want to do what she's told you to do. Okay, so my conclusion is that a voice tone definitely changes the classroom setting, where it could be screaming, which makes the kids just mad and they don't want to work, Or a dysphonic voice, the kids can't hear you.
Riley and Kale wrote
So
please
these
go as
kids
car riders.
look like they're
Riley
engaged,
and Kale wrote
but
go
some
as
of them
car
are
riders, please.
looking off into space. This one's really confused, and I feel like a dysphonic voice, the children are more confused and engaged, and they don't really care about what you're saying because they can't hear you. And then these are the kids with the teacher voice that love their teacher, love interacting, and they love to be at school.